Milt Lady is with us this morning. White Township Manager joins us on the day after the great flood of 18. It seems that way. It seems like there's a great flood every year, doesn't there?
Yeah, I think it goes by month anymore, Todd.
Yeah, it does.
Not by year.
Great flood of the month. But there were certainly very many weather issues all across the area yesterday. How did White Township weather the storms?
Not too bad in terms of storm water. I mean, I think our basins were working pretty good. We went around, checked everything. We had some downed trees. But all in all, the township roads seemed to handle it pretty well. But our pump stations were overwhelmed with the sanitary sewer. That was our guys were out till midnight working on the pump stations to keep them in half working order. You know. But they were overwhelmed with all the infiltration.
Now, after everything gets settled down a little bit, they're just back to normal, or are repairs required? Or
no repairs. We just got to make sure they keep operating and help them along the best we can. But there'll be some cleanup duties at each of the stations today.
Yeah, and I would guess that all of those storm sewers all throughout White Township, people got to go clear off those grates, don't they?
Yeah, there'll be debris on them. They'll have to check them out and make sure there's no leaves and all that plugging up. So, it'll be a process today and tomorrow.
Last year, as we recall, when the storms came, we had some road washouts. Not a problem this time?
Not that we know of, no. Some of the repairs we've been making all summer held really well, helped improve the system. We upsized some pipes at a couple locations, which seems to have helped. But some of them we found blockage in earlier this summer. So, all in all, I think some of the repairs we did this summer really helped.
When you get a call or when you see the weather forecast and you know that there's going to be a lot of really harsh weather coming, what's the procedure? Do you immediately place calls and say, you're on standby, get ready, we're going to get called out, and go make sure the equipment's in order and everything? How do you do that? Well,
the staff really, I mean, they're excellent. They were all out till midnight last night after working all day, and they're back at it again this morning, 7 o'clock. So we don't really make preparations. They're ready to go at a moment's notice. We make sure all our pumps are up and running and in good order. So, they just do it.
Yeah, I sort of picture the old show MASH when they finally got the concept of triage. Where you have all the emergencies coming in and you say, all right, let's prioritize here. What's going to be, what we absolutely have to get done first, and how do we make sure that everything gets handled in the proper order?
Well, we do that in the office. We take all the calls, and we do have to prioritize. If we got grinder pumps that are down, obviously they take priority. Someone has some basement flooding, we'll try to get to it as soon as possible. We just ask that people bear with us, but we do try to prioritize based on their situation.
Yeah, okay. Well, let's talk about how the summer has gone and maybe review some things that you're doing lately. The road system in White Township is a very extensive one. You certainly have a lot of things to handle.
We do. We're currently, we started working on the Muller Road project. That was a road that washed out last summer's flooding. We had the engineering done. Contractor's up there. He's removed some dirt off a bank to move the road over. He's put in a new cross pipe for a stream crossing. Next step is to stabilize that bank, add some proper drainage to keep the water from going under the road and deteriorating the new pavement. And then he'll stabilize the bank that did a mudslide last summer. And we'll put new pavement down and hopefully be done with that by the end of October. We appreciate all the residents that live on that road being patient during the working construction progress.
Yeah, you probably take a look at all those other towns and townships around western PA where there are mudslides and hills that give way and destroy houses and everything. You say, that could be something that Indiana County residents are concerned about as well. So you got to keep an eye on everything.
We do, and the ground's saturated right now, and with the prediction of another storm brewing next week, certainly we can't take that stuff for granted. It could happen here for sure.
Yeah, okay, so let's move along then from from that particular project to another one. That's the Hoodlebug Trail. What's going on with it?
Yes, it's open for use. We still have some signage to put up. We were planning to do that yesterday until the weather hit, but the one call has been made, so we just need to put the post up and get those signs erected. But it is open. People we see using it. All the line painting's done on the trail. So,
and this is the new section that we're talking about.
That's correct. It's a section that the township built at Hosses there on Rose Street.
Headed into town then.
Yeah, you can go straight across Rose Street, go up a section of old road that we own, cross over the railroad tracks, go on to South 13th Street, and then it connects with the IUP trail that goes up along the railroad tracks to the old IUP marching band parking lot, tennis court area.
There you go. All right, so the Hoodlebug work continues, and you look for other things to do, and there's certainly plenty of them. I know you're always looking underneath the roads too, and the sewer project that goes on.
Well, we're trying to expand some of the sewer. One of the projects is up in the 286 East Airport Road area. That area has been asking for public sewers for a long time. So that project's moving forward. We had a meeting with all the property owners that would be affected by that project a couple weeks ago. We took questions and comments, and we're now incorporating those into our final design. Our engineer's working on that, and we'll get back to property owners here shortly to firm up right-of-ways that we need and next steps in that project.
Yeah, and meanwhile, you're still working Fulton Run, correct?
We are. We finally were able to purchase the property. That was a process. We're into the permitting. Hopefully, by this winter, we will be issuing an RFP for bids and start construction on that next spring.
Yeah, my goodness, it's everywhere. It's all over White Township. You have to look for things that you can get done, and certainly those residents along Fulton Run will appreciate that.
Yeah, we're always trying to, like I say, expand our sewer network so that it helps development and people to fix up their properties.
We're talking with Milt Lady, the manager for White Township, about various projects around the township that are going on right now. Let's have some fun and head on out to the White Township Recreation Complex, because you certainly have a lot of wonderful facilities there. And the S&T Bank Arena, you told us before you're going to get a new Zamboni. Is it in yet?
We did. It was delivered in August. The company rep was there, trained about 6 of our operators on the machine. They've been using it now for 2 or 3 weeks. They say it's doing a really nice job. I've watched them use it. It seems very nice.
Yeah.
They had few little tweaks to make to it, but it has a laser guided leveling system that uses laser beams to keep the giant razor blade. It's about a 7-foot long razor blade on the back end that just shaves the ice.
Yeah.
So it's all laser guided to keep that to within like 1/32 of an inch.
Yeah.
Ice. So nice job. The guys really love it.
And of course, with your figure skating instructor now, what's
Stephanie?
Her name? Yeah. She has skated on rinks all over the world, so she can give you immediate feedback as to how good it is. Huh?
Yes, we're allowing our guys to kind of perfect their technique a little bit before I ask her how the ice is. I want to make sure I get a good report.
Now that's not their technique with a double sol cow or a triple Lutz.
No. It's with their technique of shaving the ice.
Yeah, when she was here, I said I can't do a triple Lutz, but I can do a triple klutz, because I certainly
triple klutz. Yeah, she's having fun. She's doing a nice job so far.
Well, that's good. That's good to know. And so you got all those fellows that are learning how to operate the equipment, and it's just going to
it's like driving a Cadillac compared to the old one, they say.
Yeah, it's going to be like making for a great winter at the S&T Bank Arena. Getty Heights Dog Park, people following the progress of that. What's the update?
The crew erected a new pavilion on site, so there's some shade now, although we need sunshine to get some shade. But it's erected. They still have to pour the concrete floor slab for the pavilion, and then they have a water fountain to install. A couple months ago, they ran the water line up to it, So they have a water fountain to install. It'll both have water for the owners and the little pooches.
There you go.
Then that should conclude all the work on the dog park, and hopefully we'll have some sort of a little grand opening here before winter sets in.
There you go. There you go. People enjoying it, though, aren't
They do. There's a lot of use. We get a lot of compliments on the park, and we're glad to see people there using it.
they? Absolutely. All right. So, White Township Planning Commission, they meet tonight, correct?
They do tonight, and supervisors tomorrow night.
Anything exciting on the agenda for
Just,
either one of those bodies?
One minor subdivision tonight. Nothing real exciting for the supervisor meeting.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So just keep chugging along, taking a look at storm damage and making sure that everything is where it needs to be. Now, if somebody has a question or they have a concern about it, I know they can always call the borough office, correct?
Not the well, yeah, they can call the borough office.
The township
yeah,
offices.
that'd be good.
Yeah, call the borough.
Call the borough. Yeah, they can call the township office and we'll answer their questions. There's a lot of misnomers and confusion out there on what's actually sanitary and what's actually stormwater issues.
Okay, yeah.
And we're certainly help people get through that. And we can make recommendations on some things they can look at. But we're happy to help people out the best we can.
Yeah, and the borough does actually work in conjunction with the township on certain issues where
we do.
There are common interests.
We do. We work well together, the staff. We try to help each other out as needed.
Terrific.
For sure.
Terrific. All right, so things are chugging along there in White Township, and congratulations. If it weathered yesterday's or this weekend's storms the way that it did, it means that somebody was doing their job ahead of time and making sure that everything was prepared, and that's certainly something to salute. Little
victories. We're glad to make little victories and progress, and hopefully it'll add up to better success in the future.
He is
We
Milt
might
Lady.
find out next week.
Okay. Stop it, Milt. We don't need any more rain. All right. It is the voice of Indiana County, WCCS.
We'll do our best.
AM 1160, 101.1 FM.
I'm sure glad you told me about In First Finance.